Hi friends. It's been a while, but okay, I realize it's been like since Christmas since I made my last video, so I figured it was time for a new one. You know, keep the schedule fresh. I'm lying, I don't have an actual upload schedule, but anyway, so very. I don't think I've talked about this on my channel before, but okay. Before I get to the actual topic of this video, let me just say if that you guys actually enjoy my content for some reason unbeknownst to me, then I do have a Vine. It's literally just Austin Pavey if you search it up and you're into Vine. Because I know a couple people who think Vine is stupid, so. And I can't blame them, but I happen to like it. But, okay, anyway, so. The, I just. There's really no words for it, but if any of you have ever seen Jesus Christ Superstar, you know what the true essence of a good rock opera is. Jesus Christ Superstar was great. I'm not even I'm not really even that big into like musicals like that one that came out last year that was like a redux of a bunch of different crap. It had Johnny Depp as the big bad wolf. But okay, so I'm not that big into musicals, but this is a rock opera, so that was entirely different. But I love Jesus Christ Superstar, and that's a legitimate rock opera, rock opera. But and so part two of my explanation for this is if you've ever seen something that's so just hilariously awful that you can't help but stop watching, and then every now and then you think to yourself, what gets me up when I'm feeling down? What gets me up when I'm in kind of a crappy mood and you got some time to kill? That horrible little something that you remember, whether it be a picture, a video, or a rock opera from a band that has no business trying to make something competent. Just it utterly baffles me that I like this as much as I do, because this is like for my mom, her train wrecks, her like Teen Mom, Jersey Shore, back when that was still a thing. Tribbers for her train wreck is just, it's kind of, it like everybody has their own train wreck that they absolutely love. And for me, that train wreck, honest to God, has to be Black Veil Brides and their rock opera off of their third album, Wretched and Divine Story, The Wild Ones. That album was terrible. Even by that album was just there are no words. It was a terrible, terrible conceptual album. It was no Operation Mindcrime, and it certainly wasn't. And like, to think like the year, no, maybe, but to think that the year after that, after Wretched and Divine Story, The Wild Ones came out, we got Stone Sour with House of Golden Bones Part 1 and 2. Just, it's hysterical. But moving on, their rock opera Legion of the Black is so just, it's my train wreck. It's so hilariously, incompetently just whiny and pretentious and emo. It makes me laugh every time I watch it. I love it. I love it to death. I will never own a physical copy of it. However, simply based on the fact that I refuse to support anything that Andy Black or beer sack for those of us who really don't give a crap about him too. Pardon my brother, but I will never own a physical copy of it because I refuse to support anything involving him, because he's a plagiarist, he's a douchebag, and just I don't like him. Now, say what you want for me liking bands liking bands such as Stone Sour and Slipknot, where Corey Taylor has kind of a bad reputation, or Shinedown, where I hear that Brent Smith and possibly Barry Kirch have bad attitudes, or Five Finger Death Punch, where the whole band is rumored to be a bunch of douchebags. But like plagiarism is more or less where I draw the line, and it doesn't help the fact that they plagiarized from Avenged Sevenfold, and then 2010 with their first album when they were going through a period of grieving, stealing the riff from Unholy Confessions and putting that on Knives and Pens. It made me mad, and I refused to support anything with that douchebag in it. However, I've watched it so many times on YouTube and Dailymotion. Again, I can't just... Okay, just kind of put this in perspective. I like Green Day, I really do, but the music video for Jesus of Suburbia off of American Idiot is the most hilariously pretentious emo whiny goth thing ever, and it's trying to take itself seriously, which is exactly what this movie did, just with a bunch of annoying BVB fantards and just Black Veil Brides. Oh my word! It tries to make itself competent, and it fails in every sense of the word. The only sense of any like actual story happening throughout the whole thing is these little intervals from Fear, Fear, all abbreviated to, which is for every and all religion is the abbreviation, which by the way, real subtle Black Veil Brides, because it's totally not like there's a game franchise named Fear that came out before this album and is quite popular, I might add. But anyway, and what kind of name is that anyway for every and all religion? Like, I don't get me wrong, I hate it when people are like, what kind of name is that? It's so stupid. Because I hear that a lot from people who criticize Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold, Five Finger Death Punch. It's like, it's so stupid. Why did they name that? Or like people who criticize a lot of like black or death metal, like, those names are so stupid. Just like crap like that drives me insane. But like, for every and all religion, like, that doesn't really, in the context of the movie and the conceptual album that it's based on, it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But okay, let me adjust that real quick. Sorry. Okay. But it's just, I've watched it so many times because it's a train wreck, and I know I'm always off kilter when I make these videos. I'm all over the freaking place. But now to get to it. So, it doesn't okay. Furthermore, the rock opera doesn't even contain all the songs from the actual conceptual album. So it's like, it tries to make sense of itself with the songs from the concept album, where it doesn't even feature all the songs from. But anyway, moving on. So it opens up with this misunderstood woe is me girl who is a fallen angel for the Black Veil Brides, hardcore, like, and she's one of, and in the Wikipedia entry for the story of the rock opera, I actually had to look it up, because the sense of plot is so freaking vague unless you're paying the closest attention possible to what's going on screen, that it's bad. But the Wikipedia thing says that she's not understood by friends or by family for her devotion to Black Veil Brides, which is utter BS, because you can see in the beginning she quite clearly has friends who understand her, or at least like her in a way. It's ridiculous. But anyway, then she gets sent to the principal's office, and she's the whole time, I forgot to mention, she's like pretty much writing the concept for Legion of the Black, and she even makes like the little box art for the little bit of box art, which is the one chick is like with like a cat mask or like an Anubis mask or something. on that they have actually on the thing for Legion of Black. But she gets sent to the principal's office for listening to music, and again, you see an example of there's somebody like her, and whether or not she chooses to ignore this kid is entirely up to her. But there's somebody like her right behind her, and who is just goes when she gets into the principal's office, obviously like in shock or disbelief or some crap, or just like, the man's keeping us down, even though he's not like a hipster. He's more along the lines of a Black Veil Bride fan, emo kind of kid. But anyway, then she gets sent home. She has an argument with her parents, and I believe during an interval of during an interval of this, before she starts arguing with her parents and gets being sent home and arguing with her parents, there's an interval of, pardon me, there's an interval of the Black Veil Bride's version of the plot, which is it's some chick who is supposed to be the final straw or something to that inspires the Legion of the Black to go after Fear. My apologies if I keep belching, but it's there. She gets chased down and killed. Which, by the way, she's running this whole time, and the fear member's walking with his pointy staff, and he eventually teleports in front of her, and she backs down. Which begs the question: how does she even escape from the Fear Penitentiary? Because it's just one massive freaking building in like Death Valley, Death Valley Desert in USA. I forget what state it's in, but how does she even escape if they're more than capable of teleporting? And why did he let her get so far away so that Mr. Beersack would be able to find her? Oh, because it's plot convenient. That's why. But ultimately, she gets killed. Her blood gets on the little BVB star pendant that she has. I just did Wu-Tang. They ain't none to mess with. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. But she ends up. Brayden, stop. She ends up getting killed. Mr. Beersack finds her, and they bring her back to camp, and back to their rebellion camp. And once everybody, including the rest of the band, sees Andy coming back, Andy the Prophet, which by the way, if you've ever read the Bible, like any copy, and you've heard of the false prophet, which is part of the unholy trinity as opposed to the holy trinity, you know that there's the false prophet as well as the Antichrist and Satan. I think I'm probably missing something, but I think we found a false prophet, ladies and gentlemen. But again, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I've made the joke for over a year now, but everybody is like there in mourning. They wrap her up in some toilet paper looking stuff, and then I forget what member it is. It might have been it wasn't CC, their drummer. Don't ask me why I know their names. I just do. It was either Jinx or it was Ashley Purdy, which, by the way, Ashley Purdy is one of those people who like seems genuine enough, but is like there's something about him that makes his face looks very punchable to me. But getting back on topic, he has they do a preppy little special effect where they're gonna give her a Nordic like Viking type funeral, but everyone bought a bunch of wood all wrapped up in the toilet paper looking stuff, which is like it looks like the bandages that mummies are in, kinda. But anyway, his hand lights on fire, and then they give her the funeral. And they don't do anything about anything. They don't do anything about fear yet. There's something that's like the actual final straw. But cut back to the Black Veil Bride's fangirl who gets sent home for her listening to music in class and writing all this crap and whatnot. she's arguing and yelling and screaming at her parents while this really crappy "When I Lost It All" song from Black Veil Brides comes on. And yes, I've listened to I've listened to all their albums because as Deb from Invaders Input it, to get to first I need to know my enemy, then study my enemy, then move in with my enemy, and then wear my enemy's clothes. So I'm just taking a couple steps back from that, and I listen to their albums just to see if there's anything worth it. And I don't buy the CDs simply because I refuse to support anything with Andy Black in it because he's a douchebag and a plagiarist. I refuse to support that. And okay, so she's arguing with her parents, and they call, get this, a mental asylum on this chick. They call to have this chick taken away and locked up in a mental asylum because of how much she likes Black Veil Brides. This typical "my parents don't understand me" bullcrap that you typically see from a saner emo kid. This is a part where you can tell they're trying to be serious. They take this seriously and very, very, just like it's just they're trying to take this very seriously and make it all emotional. But I cracked up when I saw that because this is the same crap you'd come to expect from an emo kid. My parents don't understand me, but they're just taking it to a new extreme, which is locking this chick up in a mental asylum. But and pardon me, it has been a while since I've actually last watched it, but like the thought for making a review for this just like popped in my head, and it's been a while since I made a YouTube video, so I figured why not. So my memory of this is a little scattered, pardon me. But she gets locked up, and she actually gets not euthanized, that's killing. She gets sedated. They sedate her and take her away to the institution, and she gets thrown in the room, and naturally she's all like about it. Which, I mean, if you lived in that world, you kind of have to be, because if your parents lock you up for having an obsession with a band, then that's kind of a justified reaction to it. But, you know, in a serious tone, not like I was. But again, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. But she gets locked up, and then Fear, which again totally isn't a knockoff of the popular video game franchise of first-person shooters, comes and kidnaps some of the members of the Black Veil Brides camp, and this is like a jump to that reality again. They come and kidnap some of the kids and take them away to the Fear Penitentiary, and just then that's apparently the final straw. They start drawing this little BVB star on flags. They start making really cheap skull-based weapons. It's like, ooh, things are starting to get serious. Heath Ledger would be having a laugh if somebody called it serious in front of him. Why am I even bringing up Heath Ledger? And so they go up, and then they're outside of the Fear building, which again, it's just one massive freaking rectangle in the middle of Death Valley, the Death Valley Desert, and
is it 8?
And keep in mind, they don't get kidnapped like out from under their nose, like just like the Fear members teleport in and then teleport away like they could. They've shown that they're more than capable of doing. They walk into the tents, which are like little makeshift huts made out of metal, which by the way have to be scalding even at night. Again, pardon me. But they come in and they drag these kids off, kicking and screaming instead of teleporting away like they very easily could and would have gotten away sneakily. And then when they wake up in the morning like, we're dealing with some legitimate threats here. No, they drag him off kicking and screaming, and all the while, the Black Veil Brides are like on their little stage that they did for like almost all their music videos, playing their instruments. But Anyway, then yeah, they start making the weapons. They start drawing out stuff for flags, and then they approach this massive building, which it's just again a giant freaking metal rectangle where they lock up their prisoners, and 5 members of Fear teleport out front, and then they're just standing off like, this is a deadly serious moment. And then the little kid that you see on the album cover for Wretched and Divine comes up, throws a stone, and like backs off. Like he takes off running. The kid's a pansy, but and then Cece the Destroyer comes in, does like a Hulk smash or like a Sky High if you've seen that. He does a Sky High style smash on the ground, releases a shockwave that like I'm assuming kills the 5 Fear members. They assault the building in just awesomeness. And then I believe cut back to the other reality, our reality where parents apparently send their kids to mental asylums for having an obsession with a band. But this girl is like receiving treatments and all that. She's got the makeup running down her face. Like they haven't given her the freaking dignity to give her like a wet rag or something so she can wipe the makeup, the runny makeup off her face. But then there's like some black tar or like ashes falling from the ceiling, and keep in mind she's an artist, which she's better than me, so I can't really give her too much crap, but she draws a member of Fear on the wall with the black crap or whatever it is, and then they take her out. This might have been at some interval before this, but they take her out. She starts receiving treatments or whatever, and they essentially just wash off what she did, her art, and that's like she loses it. She starts flipping crap. There's a desk in her room. She flips that. She like takes off the mattress, takes off one of the legs of the desk, starts smashing the desk, and then breaks the camera that's in her room. And then somehow the door to her room opens, and she starts walking down a hallway, and she ends up in a church for one reason or another, because it's the same church that the Black Veil Brides were in later on during part of the music video. But she ends up in a church, and that's like, and then past that she like walks out, and that's pretty much the end. Again, I'm probably missing a couple of intervals between Real World and Black Veil Bride Land, but that's pretty much as far as I remember, and now I can just focus with the rest of this. But anyway, fear is defeated. Don't mess with the Legion of the Black. But Fear is defeated. They storm the building, and they freed all the prisoners. And then in the end, starts to play. In the end, fade into the night. I'm sorry. Again, I'm an idiot. That's like the 5th time I've said this during this recording. But everything is pretty much done, and then the kicker is that they're hinting at a sequel, because there's just some crap, like this monster, which is quite clearly some like chicken, like a puddle of tar or like black liquid which isn't tar, like possibly like oil or something. It's making a like something similar to what you'd hear in, like, for the Alien Queen from Aliens, or Alien. I've never actually seen Alien, but in Aliens, like the kind of noise, like the screech, hinting at a sequel, as like the oil or whatever like drops out of its, like pours out of its mouth, hinting at a sequel. Which, if there's going to be a sequel, then you better believe I'm gonna watch that, because if it's anything like the first one, it's going to be amazingly terrible, and I can't wait. It's okay. So my overall score for Legion of the Black my it being my favorite train wreck ever put aside, my final score for it is definitely like a 3 out of 10. It was terrible. The plot was so beyond vague. Even in the conceptual album that they did, that this rock opera is based on, was so vague. The only hint of plot it even had was with the fear intervals, which is some dude talking on a microphone, saying, "Don't buy into the resistance lies." But even the conceptual album is bad. But this is exceptionally pretentious, whiny, and the only way you'd really get any enjoyment out of it or have any idea what was going on is if you're a Black Veil Bride fan. It's a hot mess, but I have fun watching it. It's like VHS one in that sense. The first VHS movie, not like on the actual VHS format, but the VHS movie that you can find on Netflix. It was terrible. The overall plot sucked, but the first VHS movie actually had some decent like scenarios happening in it, and like the first one where there was that vampire bat chick and she went bananas all over the 3 frat boys and she killed all of them. And then the one where the doctor who's going to school and his girlfriend, his girlfriend is haunted by like ghost babies or something, where it's like they implant an embryo into her arm or something weird like that. But yeah, it's just VHS one had some cool concepts, but overall as a movie the story sucked. But Legion of the Black is like VHS one for me. Like, I could revisit it, but I'm probably gonna revisit Legion of the Black more than I ever will the first VHS movie. But I get the feeling, since they're kind of along the same way for me, that if they ever make a Legion of the Black sequel, then it's going to be, first off, the conceptual album is probably going to suck. It's not going to be any kind of Operation Mindcrime or House of Golden Bones. Whereas, like, House of Golden Bones, I can sense a little bit of what was going on. Even Operation Mindcrime 2 did that for me, where I could sense a little bit of what was going on. Whereas Operation Mindcrime 1 was just a masterpiece. But, the next conceptual album is probably going to suck as well. And then, if they do a rock opera sequel to Legion of the Black, it's probably going to be along the lines of VHS 2, where everything about it sucked. Like, VHS 2 is just, pardon me, was horrible from start to finish, and I'm gonna watch VHS Global. I've got to. But yeah, VHS 1 was okay, which is kind of how I feel about Legion of the Black, where it's like, it sucks, but I have fun with it, which is just what the VHS 1 movie is. But then I get the feeling if they make a Legion of the Black 2, then it's going to suck like VHS 2, because it seems to be kind of along the lines of that for me. So, I hope you enjoyed my new video for probably I think this is this is not my first video for 2015, but I hope you enjoyed my first like full length video for 2015.
No!
You suck. Sorry about my retard sister, but brain get. But hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a rating, comment, all that other BS. But I'll see you guys later on in the year, and don't forget, I do have a Vine if you actually enjoy some of my content on here or want to see shorter, more entertaining videos. Or want to see shorter, probably more entertaining videos, then check out my Vine. It's just Austin Pavey. And thank you guys for watching thus far. Later.